All right, thank you for joining us for KBOI 2 News Midday. I'm Brian Moore. Let's get right to your top 11 stories at 11, and we have a change for you right off the top. 4th of July traffic has been snarled this morning on Highway 55. About 11 miles north of Horseshoe Bend, it was down to one lane due to a wildfire that was sparked by a blown tire. We just got word from ISP just moments ago that both lanes are now back open. And as we head into the holiday weekend, grass fires and heat-related emergencies are both prompting more demand for local firefighters. Coming up in a few moments, Denny Hawkins shows us the spike in calls and the toll responding takes on firefighters. The 4th of July is just 2 days away, and fire managers are reminding folks to be extra careful. Make sure you know where you can and cannot shoot fireworks. Firefighters say the Boise foothills are off limits, as well as some green areas in the city, such as parks. Unincorporated areas in Ada County also off limits, as well as areas outside of fire districts and North Ada County, like Hidden Springs. Public lands also illegal areas to use fireworks.
Basically any land that's managed for public use, rangeland, forest land, campgrounds, rec sites, anything that is not privately owned, that is managed by the BLM, the National Forest Service, the Idaho Department of Lands, there's just no fireworks allowed. It doesn't matter what size they are, it doesn't matter what they do or don't do, you can't have them at all.
And she goes on to say, depending on the situation, fines can run into the thousands of dollars. To prevent the spread of wildfires, several areas have burn bans in effect. That means no campfires for some of those 4th of July celebrations. The city of Payette and the Payette Rural Fire District have a burn ban in place. The New Plymouth Fire Department and officials in Malheur County are also banning open burning. And a Caldwell man behind bars charged with 2 counts of lewd conduct with a minor and 1 count of sexual battery with a minor. The Canyon County Sheriff's Office arrested this man, Barry Kenneth Bloom. Deputies say Bloom had inappropriate sexual contact with at least 3 underage female victims starting in 2012. Investigators believe there may be other victims. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 343-COPS. Wildlife managers are investigating a large number of dead songbirds. This is in Kuna. The Idaho Statesman reporting the dead birds show no signs of physical injury and were not sickened by the plague. Fish and Game says it appears the birds died from a specific type of pathogen that has yet to be determined. And a small army of police swarm a Navy installation in Washington, D.C. this morning following a report of a shooter. Police say they've completed a search of the building in question, found no evidence of a shooting, injuries, or a shooter. We will have more information on this story in a few moments. And folks are on the move ahead of the long 4th of July weekend. You can expect roads to be busy, with many planning to leave sometime today. The website TripAdvisor surveyed 2,400 U.S. travelers. Now, a third said they expect to be on the road before Friday to avoid the big rush, and 2/3 of those will be driving. The Center for Disease Control says Idaho has the 7th highest number of melanoma cases in the entire country. The deadly form of skin cancer has tripled in the last 30 years. So, how do you decide what sunscreen is best? Experts say SPF 30 and 50 is the best range for sun protection that will give you between 97 to 95% protection.
Both, because the ultraviolet B, think B for burn, so you're protecting from the burn, and the UVA ray is also a ray that goes a little bit deeper that the sun has, but it also is could potentially prematurely age your skin as well, so think A for aging.
The best way to keep your skin safe is by keeping as much of it covered as possible, and keep an eye out for any changes to some moles you might have. And in Washington state, the Sleepy Hollow fire is now 83% contained. Investigators believe people caused this wildfire. They have burned nearly 3,000 acres, destroyed 29 homes. That was in Wenatchee. Investigators are looking at the possibility, could be an arson. Evacuation levels have been reduced to their lowest, but some roads are still closed. And triple-digit temperatures mean long lines for raft rentals and shuttle service on the Boise River. Now that's despite an increase in flotillas from the Boise River Raft and Tube Rental Company there. The company actually added another shuttle, bought 20 new rafts, and added 50 new tubes.
The perception out there is that the 4th is maybe a bigger day, but it really isn't compared to the other weekends that we have. Weekends are just plain busy.
Boise River Raft and Tube Rental is now open at 10 o'clock in the morning on weekends.